Good evening. It is Thursday, March 31st, and we are here in Fraser Park at the Fraser Park Community Center at a community meeting basically with the Fraser Park Public Utility District, and with me is
D. Jaspar, civil engineer, engineer for the district.
Dave Warner, Self-Help Enterprises. We provide technical assistance to rural low-income communities.
Okay, so why are we here?
We're here to look at the possibility of what the folks have to decide about voting on the ballot to either regionalize, annex the Lake of the Woods area and interested water systems, to form a larger water system and get state funding to develop a system that would serve the area, or not to annex and just the Fraser Park District would look at going it alone, figuring out what they have to, improvements they have to put in and what money they could get.
What is the advantage from an engineering standpoint for an annexation?
There are a number of advantages. From the technical standpoint, you have one entity that's managing all of the water system, sending the bills out, managing the water quality. There are a number of efficiencies that you get by having serving more people with one entity rather than a bunch of small entities. The economies that you get are in water quality testing, reporting, and in staffing to operate the district. From a technical standpoint, from an engineering standpoint, it allows us in a district to develop better infrastructure in order to better serve the two communities, or the number of people that would come on to the new system.
Let me have a follow-up question for you. So many of us know that the community of Lake of the Woods had a lot of water problems in the last years. They could not just produce enough water and had to tank or bring water in with, tanks. So when these two water systems combine, the Fraser Park Public Utility District and Lake of the Woods, would not Fraser Park suffer in one way or the other?
The good thing about that is that the aquifer that serves Lake of the Woods is the same aquifer that serves Fraser Park. And it just happens that Lake of the Woods is uphill from Fraser Park being downhill. And so the water is more abundant down at the lower end of the aquifer at Fraser Park for a number of reasons, geologic reasons. And the advantage would be in hooking a pipeline between the two communities would be that water would be more surely available. It would be more reliable for Lake of the Woods because of the way the aquifer works here in Cuddy Creek.
So without basically negatively impacting the water supply for Fraser Park, correct?
It doesn't negatively affect it at all, simply because either the water is pumped up at Lake of the Woods and used in Lake of the Woods, or it comes on down Cuddy Creek to Fraser Park and is pumped from Fraser Park back up to Lake of the Woods. So it's the same water, and there's no additional water being used, loss, yes.
Dave, from financial point of view, I understand there is a lot of grants and financial opportunities if these two systems, combine. Can you elaborate a little bit on that?
Sure. The regional project, because Lake of the Woods area is a poor area, the state qualifies them as a severely disadvantaged community, and they qualify for 100% grant funding. The Fraser Park area is not quite as poor, but they don't qualify for the same. They have to take some loan. But by combining the two systems together, Fraser Park can benefit with the same as the severely disadvantaged under the same umbrella. And the state encourages small systems, so they encourage consolidation. They have grant money available. So if they do a regional project, it'd be 100% grant funding, and no loan would be taken by Fraser Park. But if Fraser Park does a solo project, they would have to take loan before they got any grant.
And I understand from the discussion that already took place here that there is even maybe remote, but the possibility that if the water districts do not decide to combine themselves, that the state comes in and basically makes a decision for them, correct?
The state has made, in some cases, the state has made that occurred. City of Tulare, for instance, but they prefer that. They've told us, the people here, that hey, the district and the water systems are talking about it. They're discussing it among themselves, so they aren't going to come in and try to force them. But that the state has told us that's the last option that they would use on some systems that have severe problems.
Okay, I also understand that the infrastructure, pipelines and so on here in this area is sometimes 80 or 100 years old, and I understand this grant or the annexation or merge of the water districts would also give the opportunity to basically improve or remodel the infrastructure. Is that correct?
That's correct, yes. There is money available to improve some of the infrastructure. Likely that all of the pipelines will not be able to be replaced in this one financing opportunity. But a number of the worst pipes would be replaced, and that would be an advantage for Frazier Park. And of course, Lake of the Woods has already got a grant where they are replacing some of their pipelines right now. And so it would be an advantage to both communities to have this money available.
And Lake of the Woods already voted in favor of that merger, is that correct?
Lake of the Woods water system, the Lutheran Church water system has voted in favor, and the Connor Mobile Home Park and Lake of the Woods has voted in favor, plus two private homes with private wells have also requested to be part of the annexation so far.
So in my understanding, we have now a poll going on here in Frazier Park, but the poll is just kind of, I will not say a testing, but testing the waters for the board. The final decision about annexation or not will be done by the elected board of the Frazier Park Utility District. Is that correct?
I believe that's correct, Dave. Is that?
That's something the board would have to answer, but I understood that they decided, residents here were saying we wanted to be polled, and that we could, if we wanted to join in the regional thing or join with those folks. So that's what this polling is about, is for Frazier Park residents, customers to respond to see if they want to join in a regional water project or they want to stay a separate water system.
And this board, the Frazier Park Board, as Dave has said, has decided that they will abide by the opinion of the community of Frazier Park as to whether or not to proceed with the annexation.
But my understanding from both of you is that the annexation or merger with Lake of the Woods would also be a win-win situation for everyone here in Frazier Park, correct?
It would be from the standpoint of new infrastructure, a reliable water supply, good management for better management because of the combination of the entities. And yeah, it would be a win-win situation for both entities.
And they'd get 100% grant. Frazier Park would get more grant and no loan.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Totally appreciate your time.